In monotheistic religious traditions, particularly within Christianity, a significant theological tenet is the understanding of God's glory and whether it is shared with others. God's glory is deemed as an essential aspect of his character, a blend of his magnificence, holiness, and divine splendor that renders him unique within the scriptural narratives. A recurring assertion found throughout the Bible, particularly in the Old Testament, is the concept that God does not share his glory with others. This principle is captured in verses such as Isaiah 42 verse 8, where it is proclaimed, "I am the Lord, that is my name. I will not yield my glory to another or my praise to idols." This verse emphasizes the unique and incomprehensible nature of God, which stands apart from all creations and deities posited by human imaginations. However, the theological discourse does not end with a literal interpretation of these verses. The concept of God not sharing his glory is predominantly understood in the context of divine supremeness and an exclusion of any form of idolatry. It is a direct response against the background of polytheistic practices that were prevalent in ancient times, affirming monotheism in a deeply pluralistic world. In a more metaphysical interpretation, some theologians argue that while God does not share his glory in the sense of diluting his divine essence, he does manifest his glory through human beings. According to Christian theology, particularly in the New Testament, God's glory is reflected through various manifestations among his believers. For instance, 2 Corinthians 3 verse 18 describes believers being transformed into the same image of Christ from glory to glory, indicating a process by which believers partake in the divine nature, not by quantifying God's glory into parts, but by reflecting his righteous and holy nature. Moreover, the Johannine literature presents an intriguing framework on the sharing of glory within the triune Godhead itself. John 17 verse 22 states, "I have given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be one as we are one." Here, Jesus speaks to his followers about the glory given to him by the Father, which he in turn gives to them, albeit in a much profound and unitive sense, emphasizing the oneness and divine communion intended for believers. Thus, while a simplistic reading of the biblical text underscores God's exclusive possession of glory, the theological interpretations and implications reveal a more nuanced understanding. God's sharing of glory does not imply a division of his divine essence, but rather an extension of his presence and righteousness among his creations as witnessed through the lives of his followers and the harmonious relationship within the Trinity itself.